Thanks for joining us on The People's Business Live. In the studio with us this evening, we have BARP. Yes, that's right. We'll be learning about the activities of BARP as well as reverse mortgages. So stay tuned as you join us in a panel discussion on the activities of BARP and reverse mortgages. We'll be right back, and when we return after the break, we'll tell you who our special guests are. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the People's Business Live. In the studio with us are the folk from the Barbados Association of Retired Persons, and I want to introduce you to our special panel. Good evening. Welcome to the program. We have Senator Tony Marshall, who's the chairman of the Reverse Mortgages Committee. Good evening, Mr. Marshall. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good evening.
And we have Miss Elsa Webster, who is the executive manager of BARP. Welcome to the program.
Good evening, Maureen. Nice to be here.
And we have Mr. Edward Bushell, who is the president of BARP. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Nice being here.
Yeah, I mean, BARP has been, the last time we were here, we were talking a lot about the activities of BARP, and this year there are a number of activities which you would want to tell the public about. So, Mr. Bushell, I want to start with you first, and could you tell us what are the major activities that you want to highlight that is taking place with BARP?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you and CBC very much for having us here again. It's always been a pleasure on CBC. It gives us an opportunity to tell the general public what we are doing. Most importantly, to help keep our members informed as well, because despite all of the methods we have of communications, I think this method is also a very, very useful one. We have been, since our last time we've been here, we've been very busy. And we were in the process, as you know, last time we were here, of getting all our databases, system, etc. Really put it in good shape. We have succeeded in that. Now we are really up with the latest technology as far as our information systems are concerned. And of course, Elsa joining us has been a special addition because she has special knowledge and training in that area as well as other areas of expertise. We've been working assiduously to get the reverse mortgages in place, and I think Senator Marshall is going to be talking to you about that. We are going back now for the first time. We're going back to have for the Kaduma and crop over, we're going to have our silver soaker back in again. Since last time we were here, we changed our system of payment at the credit, not the credit union, at BARP, so that now you don't have to come necessarily with cash or check. You can now use credit cards and debit cards. So there are a number of other things that we can discuss as we go along that we are engaged in, but there are a lot of things that we are doing now and that we're excited about. We're going to talk about later on this evening.
Getting back to the whole administrative end of things at BARP, Ms. Webster, you're the executive manager, and I just want you to just tell the public what are some of the things, of key functions that you perform as executive manager at BARP.
Well, one of the first things I'd like to say is that I'm enjoying being the executive manager of BARP. I'm really enjoying it. There's so much to do and so many people to help, so many different issues to address. By and large, I manage the various functions concerning membership, accounting. I oversee the administration of the insurance plan, our Golden Health Insurance Plan, which is very important for many of our members. And in addition, I facilitate the work of the committees. We have over 18 committees staffed by 200-odd volunteers, and that in itself is a task, but a very enjoyable task. So that one of the committees I really enjoy is the Events and Social Activities Committee. They're one of our most active committees, and you'll hear a lot more about what they've been doing later on this evening. Then, of course, you know, the Reverse Mortgages Committee, the Investments Committee, and of course, with trying to facilitate the work of all of these committees, there is just so much to learn. So I am having a fabulous time.
Okay, that sounds good. You mentioned the insurance plan. Could you just briefly discuss what that plan entails?
The current framework of the insurance plan, which is called our Golden Health Plan, I think that started in 2008, the current iteration of the plan. And that is very well subscribed, not as well subscribed as we'd like it to be, so we'd like to have many more BARP members on board. However, we currently have approximately 2,400 members who are part of the plan, and the plan is undergoing a change right now, a good change. It's being renewed, it's being upgraded, so that we have a number of additional offers under the plan to our members. One, for example, is the reduction. Well, let's put it this way. We have an increase in coverage from $300,000 to $500,000, but the medical part of the plan, not really the medical, the medication part of the plan, pharmaceutical medication, prescription drugs, members can now access or make claims for prescription drugs with only a $100 deduction. Previously, they had to fulfill the medical plan deduction of $500, while that is being increased to $750 under the new plan, with additional coverage now going to $500,000. But now you can access prescription medication with a deductible of only $100. So members, there are a number of changes, exciting changes, and we are asking our members, especially the members of the plan, but not only the members of the plan, other members of BARP as well, to take a second look at the plan and to come out on June the 22nd at the ICBL headquarters on Roebuck Street, the ICBL auditorium on Roebuck Street, to hear all about the new plan, the changes to the plan, the upgraded, the improvements to the plan, to hear about it firsthand from ICBL. So again, that's June the 22nd at the ICBL auditorium, 9 to 12.
I mean, now that persons are living longer, reaching retirement age no longer guarantees a comfortable lifestyle. What are some of the ways that BARP seeks to improve the lifestyles of retired persons? Other than we're not looking at it from an investment or financial perspective. What are some of the ways, holistic ways, that BARP would seek to do this?
Well, one of the things that we promote is active, what we call active aging. We encourage our members certainly to do from the preventive medicine side, through the next program and stuff, to do preventive maintenance on themselves. We encourage them to exercise. We have a lot of work, a lot of programs for the brain. We think it's absolutely important that the brain is very, very active. So the things that are very, very popular with BARP would be a lot of the educational programs. So all of our computing classes are oversubscribed. All of our art classes are oversubscribed. Every time we have lectures on historical lectures, cultural lectures, they're oversubscribed. We do a lot of that. This year we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to start doing some classes in home gardening.
Right, okay.
And that's going to start very shortly. In addition to the repeat art class, we had a very successful art class. Everybody there knows is an artist, so they want to do the advanced art class. So they're going forward, and then we're going to have another class for beginners. The computer class, again, is going to start again. They've gone from beginners to advanced. That's going. The other thing that we do also in terms of keeping our members active is we try to get them to keep up with technology. So we have a workshop to explain what an iPhone is, how to use a BlackBerry, how to get on the internet, how to do emails, and that's another thing that is very popular with our membership. So we try to keep them active, not only physically but mentally as well.
I want to ask you a question in terms of the community outreach of BARP. Now, there are a number of retired persons living in senior citizens' homes. They might not necessarily be ill or anything. Does BARP have an outreach? Are you aware of persons living in such homes being members of BARP?
Yeah, one of our committees goes and does a regular routine visit to all the retirement homes. So there's a committee of 32 persons that go and do that on a regular basis, as well as the committee that works in conjunction with the QEH, the hospital greeters.
Right.
So our members greet people coming into the hospital for the first time. Sometimes you might be a first-time member in coming to the hospital, you're lost, you don't know where to go. We have BARP members there who will take you to accounts, show you where the accounts is, where the different departments is, which ward to go to. So we're also very active in that.
As well as geriatric hospitals
yes,
as well.
Yes,
Okay.
we have greeters who go, a committee that goes visit regularly, play games, help them out with various activities and stuff. Yeah.
Senator Marshall, as head of the Reverse Mortgages Committee, first of all, I want you to remind the public exactly what is a reverse mortgage.
Well, thank you. Very simply, a reverse mortgage is a mortgage, a loan taken against property. If I use the word unusual nature of it, is that unlike a normal mortgage, you cannot be, the lender cannot foreclose on the property unless you vacate it or you do not meet the terms and conditions laid down. Outside, there's no repayment. That is the most critical and attractive feature.
Okay. All right, we're hearing a reverse mortgage is a type of loan that enables elderly persons to convert their home equity into cash. We'll be right back after break. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the People's Business Life, where we're having a wonderful chat with the representatives of the Barbados Association of Retired Persons. Getting back to you, Senator Marshall, as head of the Reverse Mortgage Committees.
I'm only chairman.
Chairman. Just in case the viewing public is confusing a home equity loan with a reverse mortgage, could you just outline the difference for them so that they would understand you talk about two different things?
As you very nicely said just now, most Barbadians, and more specifically the members of BARP, our stats have shown us that some 95% of our membership own their homes and they are mortgage free. Not only among BARP members, but throughout the country, we have a number of persons who may be said to be asset rich and cash poor. They own their homes and they have difficulty in maintaining a good quality life, in paying the insurance, land taxes, etc. A reverse mortgage enables you to utilize the equity in your property up to a stated amount, and you can live in that home for as long as you like. The lender cannot foreclose on that mortgage as could be done with an ordinary mortgage, except you vacate the property. Or of course you die, which means you will vacate it.
All right. There's a psychology and a culture in Barbados which says that, you know, when I die, I hope to pass on, at least leave an inheritance for my offspring, for a family member, so on. And the idea of having a debt tied into property is not something in most Barbadians, especially if they own their home. Now, how do you think we need some more education in terms of allowing persons to see, as Senator Marshall pointed out, it is better to be living comfortably with some cash, being able to meet your monthly expenses, than to have a home that eventually when you pass on will just be inherited by persons. Do you think we need to educate Barbadians that home ownership doesn't necessarily mean owning something to your own detriment, that you cannot enjoy the rest of your life in comfort? Anybody could answer the question.
We've gone across the country. We've had symposiums at the university. We've gone to communities trying to explain that this idea of passing on the property to some degree is a myth. Each of us sitting here, and 90% of the listeners, have mortgages. And God forbid, but if tomorrow something went wrong, the normal provisions apply. Now, with a reverse mortgage, you must, it is a condition that you have a will. As is normal, if you have a will, the beneficiary is the person who inherits the property. If there's an outstanding ordinary mortgage, the beneficiary either has to repay that loan or sell the property. With a reverse mortgage, the situation is identical. So there is no nothing special or unusual about the reverse mortgage, except, as I said, there are no repayments.
But what about the aspect that it reduces a significant portion of the value of the property once the person dies? Remember, you're paying back this loan, so the heirs to that property would have to pay back whatever is outstanding on that property. So it reduces the to some degree an amount of what the property is valued.
If you would permit me, please, the value does not change. If the value is $500,000, it remains $500,000. But like anything else, if there's a debt of $100,000,
Exactly.
then the residual funds available are $400, but the value remains the $500. It doesn't change.
But remember, I am the heir to this property,
Yes.
and my parents left a $1 million property, but they took out a reverse mortgage, and the principal plus the interest built up over the years, the duration of the lifetime of my parents. Now they passed on. The bank has an option, and you correct me if I'm wrong, either to sell the property to recover the cost, but they will only take a portion of what the property is sold for, what is outstanding on the loan. But then again, I am thinking that I'm entitled to get a substantial amount from this property. That decreases my expectation in terms of how much I am getting coming out of the property, because my parents took out a reverse mortgage.
Some of the conditions which we have put together are: one, a prospective borrower must take advice from an attorney, an accountant, or a financial analyst or advisor. And he must produce evidence of having done so to the lender. The lender cannot sell your property per se. The beneficiary is the person who is called upon to satisfy the lender on the outstanding debt. And whatever method that beneficiary is able to use is there. They may have the resources like you on a bank account, you see, and they would just use those funds. But I want to make the point, because we here in Barbados always believe that the bank can sell your property. The bank cannot sell your property. The lender cannot just sell your property. He has to go through certain procedures. He has to call on you, the beneficiary, to repay that debt. If you fail to repay, then he introduced foreclosure proceedings.
Okay. All right, we just want to leave reverse mortgages for a little bit and get back to the wonderful activities of BARP. Not that reverse mortgages are not, it's not a good activity, but let's go to these other concerns that BARP have with respect to the allowances for pensioners. Mr. Bushell, you would want to see that increase?
We think that should be increased, because we feel that when you work, you paid your taxes on your gross wages or salaries. That was tax. And then deductions were made for national insurance purposes, contributions. And then when you receive your pension now from national insurance, which comprises your contributions, etc., that is taxed already, you're taxed again. So we are saying that we feel that the allowance that is presently $40,000 per year for pensioners needs to be expanded to $50,000. We think that is a more realistic and fair figure. So we need to see that moved. And we've made representation to the government about that.
Okay. You're watching The People's Business Life. Please stay with us. We'll return after the break.